A few months ago, tragedy struck that home. The mother passed away after a sudden illness. Before leaving this world, she held the father's hand tightly and kept repeating one thing: "Take care of my son, he is not bad at heart." After that day, the old man was truly alone. The house was the same, the walls were the same, but there was no loving voice left to call out. Now his entire world was just his son. Little did anyone know that to bring this son to success, the father had burned away his whole life. There was a time when the boy was small and even lighting the stove at home was difficult. The father worked under the scorching sun all day. Blisters formed on his hands, his feet would swell, yet every evening he came home, placed his hand on his son's head, and asked only one question: "Son, what new thing did you learn today?" At night, when everyone slept, he worked as a night watchman in a nearby factory. Sleep had left his eyes long ago, but his dreams were still alive, the dreams for his son. There was one day the whole village still remembered. It was the last date to submit the boy's college fee, and there was no money at home. The father wandered door to door the entire night, but the amount was still short. Finally, he opened the old chest that held the mother's few precious belongings. With trembling hands, he took out her last piece of jewelry, looked at it for a few moments, and whispered, "Forgive me, this will help our son," and he sold it. But the son's education did not stop. Years passed. The son studied hard and eventually got a good job in a big hospital. Sweets were distributed across the village. The father proudly told everyone, "My son has become a doctor." But with time, the phone calls became fewer, conversations became shorter, and the distances grew longer. Yesterday, I saw that same old father on a bus. There was an old cloth bag in his hand. He kept calling his son again and again, but every time the same response came: "This number is busy." He took a deep breath and lowered his eyes. After a while, he told the conductor, "Son, please drop me in front of that hospital, my son works there." I thought I would surprise him today. When the bus reached the hospital, he slowly got down and went inside. Out of curiosity, I followed him. He stopped outside a room and peeked through the glass door. Inside, his son was laughing with his friends and saying, "Man, my village dad keeps calling again and again. I don't know what he wants, that's why I usually don't pick up." Hearing this, the father's bag slipped from his hand. Inside it were homemade desi ghee, pickles, and dry flatbreads, things he had brought after traveling so far for his son. The room was still filled with laughter, and outside the door stood a silent father. He bent down, picked up the bag. There was moisture in his eyes, but a forced smile on his lips. Perhaps even now, he did not want to think badly of his son. Slowly, he turned, and walked away, without saying anything, without asking for anything. I don't know whether this story is real or not, but the moral lesson is definitely real. The bitter truth is, the hands that taught us how to walk, we often start seeing those very hands as a burden when we grow up. But remember, time always turns. Today you are young, tomorrow you may be the one standing outside the door, while someone inside is laughing. Moral: give time to your parents, because once they are gone, their call never comes again. Broken heart.